If I would have seen that on a reality TV show, I would never have believed that.
Whoa, that just started moving.
What? Do we have proof of a freaking ghost on camera? Is that what that means?
Hello, zombies! We are here at the Monte Vista Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona. And you'll have to excuse me, we'll get into the spooky vibes, but for right now, I'm really happy because Flagstaff is one of my favorite cities ever. I've been here a bunch of times and I'll come here just to be in this city. Like I'll drive all the way to Arizona just to see Flagstaff. But I have never stayed here before and I did not know about the history of this place until this year. And oh, is it full of spooky things. Oh, this is Katy, by the way. You know Katy. Katy, the fly Katy. Katy.
Not like fly like cool, but like fly like you're an idiot and you don't know movies.
Yeah. Peter's drinking a beer behind camera right now.
Drunk. Plot twist, Peter's the drunk.
It's not a beer.
Sorry, am I hallucinating? What is that? Is that a ghost beer?
Not spawns.
Not spawns. This is Katy, my roommate, my best friend. Not in that order. Definitely not in that order. She barely lives with me, but. And my name's Mykie, M-Y-K-I-E. Not Glam&Gore, not Glam&Gore. Mykie. You'll have to excuse us.
We haven't slept much. You've slept less though.
Way less. Last night we filmed at Chateau Marmont and I slept for about an hour. And the night before that, I was up editing Salt Lake City until 8 a.m. and I slept about 3 hours. So in the past 48 plus some more maths hours, I've slept 4 hours. We drove 8 hours today from Los Angeles to get here. We didn't listen to a single song
Not one song.
the entire road trip because we're just so entertaining. And this ghost hunting is a little different today because we are not just staying one night here, we are staying 2 nights. I love the enthusiasm, yes, because I found 2 rooms that I couldn't pick between. One had a really gruesome history and one had a lot of activity, paranormal activity. I wanted both, so we are staying in both. Tonight we are staying in room 306. But before we get into that, Katy, I have a present for you.
I've been waiting for this moment.
I've been having a bit of a t-shirt theme with this series, and I feel like you need to have one too.
Oh my God, this is the best. I don't even have wine.
I know, that's why I was like, where's your wine? The one day she orders a beer at the bar instead. Go get wine.
Oh my
it's
God.
still open.
I'm gonna get wine. Wait, can I say something really quick?
No.
Yes. Well, I just thought it was crazy that you knew this place was haunted and you knew the backstory, but I didn't know the backstory. And when we were walking up to the place, this guy literally was watching us with suitcases and looked at us and was like, good luck staying there. You're not gonna sleep at night.
That's not what he said.
Because no, that place is super haunted. Good luck sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's notorious. Katy, get changed. Just an FYI for you guys, the dedication I have to that bit was when we snapped, I realized, oh shoot, we have to stay in the same exact positions while this one changes, goes down to the bar, gets wine, goes to change, realizes she needs a different bra, comes back out, mics herself back up, gets back in the position just to say, I don't know what my pose was. Meanwhile, we're both just like, Peter can't move because that can't move at all. I can't move. I hope it was worth it at home.
But we are gonna move to continue the story.
Snap again with me. I thought I'd be able to sit my butt in the window, but it's not working out.
Dag it.
Dang it.
Barbecue.
Devil dog. And barbecue. If you're from Arizona, you know, it's time to get serious and spooky.
The history of the room.
I wanted to stay in room 306 because it has what I think is the most intense and serious event that has happened in this hotel that they know of. A few people have died here, but I think the worst thing was in this room. 2 sex workers were brought back here to room 306 one night. During their stay here, they were murdered and thrown out the window.
What's with people throwing people out the window?
I don't know, but we're 2 for 2. I don't know which window. There's 3 in here. So, 2 murders happened here to 2. The website says prostitutes, outdated, not woke. They gotta fix that.
Sex workers.
Sex workers, get it right. It's 2019. I don't know what year this happened though. I guess it was a long time ago. And their bodies were just dumped to the street below. So apparently, when people stay here, they report being woken up in the middle of the night and then not being able to fall back asleep because they feel like something or someone is watching them, which I buy in a room this big. It's kind of uncomfortable how long it is, but we'll see if we feel anything tonight. And this one's for you, Peter. Men who stay in this room are reported to wake up feeling a hand covering their mouth or pushing on their throat, and they are unable to breathe.
Sweet.
But it's like totally confirmed that 2 people got murdered in this room.
Yeah. How does that make you feel? Have you ever slept in a room where you know a murder has happened?
Well, I feel like I lived in a house where someone was murdered, but not the specific room.
Oh yeah, in the last video you told us the story about how you literally lived in a house where
Someone was murdered, yeah.
and the little girl that you lived with kind of knew about it somehow. In this room, it was 2 sex workers. In room 220, this one's crazy. I'm gonna shut the window for this one so you don't miss it. It's harder to sit now. In room 220, there was a man that stayed there for a while called the Meat Man, who used to hang raw meat from the chandelier. I guess he was a butcher, and eventually he was found dead in his hotel room 3 days after he had died, and spooky things happened in that room. I wonder where in this room the murder happened. We're in the dark, and we're gonna try out the EMF meter in room 306. Since it had a lot to say in the last video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little more nervous about.
Do you want to test it around things that
Have
it'll
electricity?
definitely go off on?
As like the control. Yeah, we can do that.
Can you see anything? Should I shine some?
Everything's off.
Hold on, I'll flash my.
Oh my god, holy shit, I got shocked. It just scared me.
Off of what?
The lamp. Why did I get shocked?
I don't know.
I don't know, but the EMF meter went off when it happened.
I'm sure. I had electricity coursing through my body. Someone else touch that. I'm afraid to touch it now. Nothing?
No.
What the hell, man? Cool. Alright, so a control. And it doesn't even go off here. Cool.
Huh, that's weird.
The tiniest of readings.
I feel like it was going off a lot more in the phone than the other place.
What about my mic pack? So it's working. Batteries. So it'll have like a consistent pulse if it's on something that is electric. I can't tell if I'm nauseous because we're in a haunted place or because I haven't eaten in a while. All right, let's walk around in the dark. If any spirits are with us, please tell us where the murders happened in the room. By like doing a thing on the EMF reader. Anyone in the chair? No. Were you murdered in bed?
It's so crazy that it's not even reacting at all. And last night it was going crazy.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
I feel like that means something though.
I know. At first I was thinking like it's kind of a bummer that it's not going off at all. But at the same time, that just makes yesterday way scarier.
Yeah. Because I feel like people were going to be like, oh, it's because of her battery pack or whatever the hell. But it's literally not doing anything.
No, not a damn thing. And murders actually happened here. And this is a haunted hotel, like it's advertised this way. But I did read that comment that said that the touristy haunted places are probably full of spirits, but they're exhausted because they're always being asked to do stuff. And the real gems are places where it's not necessarily known for that, first and foremost. Not a thing.
Ask it if it can identify what window.
Can you identify what window you were shoved out of? Was this the window from the story?
Look at the screen.
Yeah.
Something keeps popping in and out. What is that?
Whoa, what is that?
Really,
Wait,
Peter?
Yes.
Is that just a reflection of the streetlight? It might be. Hold on, move.
Oh, it's gone.
I think it's a reflection of the streetlight.
Are you sure that's what it is?
Mikey, stand in front of the window.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, blocked.
Scared the frick out of me. Spooky trash can. Okay, so it's the light. Debunked. We're not here to pull one over on you guys. If we can debunk it, I want to. Doesn't mean that there's no ghosts, period. It means that that was not a ghost. Were you pushed out of this window?
I'm so much more freaked out about last night now.
It is strange. The only explanation I don't like, so that's just gonna sit in my head as a thing I will never be able to explain. Do we have proof of a freaking ghost on camera? Is that what that means?
Yes, girl, we had a whole ass conversation with him.
If I would have seen that on a reality TV show, I would never have believed that. I'd be like, okay, bullshit. Honestly, I wouldn't have believed it if Spencer was holding it in his hand, but the fact that I was holding it made me think like, I mean, I know I'm not doing anything other than standing in that spot, asking questions. It's a bust. The EMF meter has nothing for us in here. All right, stick it out the window. So because the EMF reader didn't pick up anything in this room, we want to see if another means of communication might get us in contact with whatever spirits might be lingering in 306. So we have a brand new deck of tarot cards, which we just saged just in case to cleanse them. We are novice tarot card readers as of tonight, but we are earnestly trying our best to learn more about this because after we did the impromptu tarot card reading at the Queen Mary, we saw your comments about it. I don't know anything about them, and we didn't realize that there are so many guidelines that you should follow in order to give it your best shot at communicating. Maybe you don't need to sage a brand new deck, but just to be safe, that's what we just did. Then we realized there's a smoke detector right there, so we cut that out because this video would be just great if we set that off. If we mess something up, please be patient with us. We are learning and we are really trying. And just let us know nicely in the comments where we can improve. Where do we start?
Open the deck.
Okay. And we have this on the bed going just in case something changes, even though nothing was picked up on that. So we just spoke to Katie's other roommate in Vegas. She lives in Vegas part-time.
Confuse them more.
Most of the time. What did I say earlier? Roommate and best friend, definitely not in that order. So her other roommate in Vegas is really into tarot cards. So we just FaceTimed her and we got some advice, and I'm probably still gonna mess it up, but despite my intense skepticism of literally everything on this earth, I am going to really try to put myself in the headspace.
This is a simpler spread. It's the death spread. So you pull the death card out of the deck and you place it down. And then card number 1 is going to be past issues, what is to be released. And then card number 2 is going to be the outcome. So you'll pull the death card and then you'll kind of spread the cards in like a rainbowish shape.
Okay.
Whoa, that just started moving.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You think it's getting mad?
Get the f out of here.
I have goosebumps.
I don't know.
Whoa,
I
yeah,
don't
me
know how
too,
to.
actually.
I don't know how to reconcile this in my brain.
Okay, so I guess let's keep
Okay,
going.
so you put the cards in like a rainbow shape, and then your energy or whatever you feel it'll draw you to what cards you should pick.
My eyes are welling up again. Why? Nothing happened in this room.
Okay, so
Are you freaking out?
yeah, a little bit. All right, hold
see
on,
my
guys.
legs?
Put your phones in airplane mode.
I don't think it's the phones. Our phones have been sitting here the whole
I know.
time,
No, I
and
know
it didn't
that.
do
I know,
that
I know,
until we
I know.
did that.
Both times you started to explain what to do, it's reacted. It's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I swear to you guys, this is not staged.
No,
and
it's really
honestly,
not.
if I were watching me and I wasn't me, I wouldn't believe me. So everyone who doesn't believe me, I totally get you.
Gia said that if we're trying to cast the dead, we should get into more of a circle for protection.
Okay.
You're the end of the circle, so
Yeah.
protect us. Normally I would think that that's so silly, but honestly, with this shit going on,
I know, it's
who
literally not doing
knows?
anything right now.
Yeah.
But it has not gone off since Katie stopped explaining what to
All
do.
right. Well, let's keep going.
Okay, so you're going to put the cards in kind of like a... Did you see that?
Katie, put
I
your
want
hand
to
near
cry.
it. Just put your hand near it.
Just put your hand near it.
Nothing. Oh, wait.
Okay. That's a little weird.
My heart's pounding.
My watch is on airplane mode because
No,
my
I
phone
know.
is.
What I want to make sure is that we are listening, right?
This thing didn't go off once in this room.
Literally
It
never.
didn't even flicker, except on our
Okay, it just did it again.
mic pad.
And it's not doing it when you do it.
Okay.
I don't like
Okay.
it.
All right. Well, let's do the reading.
Now, choose 2 cards with your left hand and place them as shown.
I'm going to think about this card, and I'm going to think about what happened here. What needs to be let go. So the second card, the outcome. What will be transformed?
Has that gone off at all? It hasn't gone off at all, huh?
No.
I wonder if it was just like trying to tell us it was angry, like maybe don't pull the tarot card.
I'm curious what the cards will say. Okay. This is what needs to be let go. My initial interpretation of that was actually towards the person that murdered these women. I was thinking if they're here and if they're angry or hurt, maybe in order for their spirit to move on and to go into a better place, they need to let go of their judgment for the man that would commit such a heinous act, almost like forgiveness. Maybe they judge themselves for the job that they were doing that led them to their fate and their death. I think it either means that they need to let go of either let go of judgment for the person that did this to them.
Can we ask this a question?
Do you
That's weird.
Do you judge yourself for what happened to you? Do you judge the person that did this to you?
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Keep going because
Okay.
you were keep discussing what you were doing.
I don't know when this happened, but I'm guessing it happened a while ago. It happened in the last century. And I mean, even the way that it's written about on the website for this hotel uses a term that we now consider derogatory. We look at sex workers very differently than probably the time in which this happened to them. And their job is surrounded by taboo and judgment, and the reasons why people get into that profession are all different and is probably a very difficult job to deal with. And yeah, my first instinct was that they either harbor judgment in a way that does not allow them to forgive and move on, or they harbor judgment for themselves and they blame themselves for their life being taken early, or maybe how the night went, and maybe they feel like, do you hear that?
That was, yeah, I heard that.
I think it might have just been a car door. Okay. But it is weird because it kind of felt like that was at the window, which is weird.
No, that definitely didn't sound like a car door. It definitely sounded like someone tapped on the window.
Cool. Okay.
Should I flip the next card? So this is the outcome. Appropriate. Temperance. So temperance means abstaining from alcoholic drinks. That makes me look at the judgment card differently, and I don't know if you can actually combine or change how you feel about one card once you see a second card, but maybe they judged themselves, or one of the women judged herself for alcohol being involved, and maybe the solution would have been to abstain. Maybe he was drunk and the solution would have been for him to abstain from getting drunk. Like maybe it was a crime of passion, it wasn't planned, and it had something to do with alcohol. If this happened closer to like Prohibition era, because the red light district used to be only 2 blocks away from this hotel, so it was probably really common to have a lot of booze and sex workers in and out of the hotel. So my interpretation would be releasing judgment from maybe a big factor, and the solution is to abstain from that factor. I'm not seeing any agreement over here. Maybe I released the spirit with my very first tarot card reading. Did we do well?
I hope so.
Who knows? They'll let us know in the comments.
I'm sure. Do I have to do anything special to put these back?
Are you supposed to say bye?
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
I feel drained. It might just be because of not sleeping for the last 2 nights and it being 3 a.m. again. But we did the EMF in room 306. We did night vision. We did tarot card reading. We heard some sounds. And I think that that's what we're gonna get from this room tonight until we sleep, and maybe one of us is awoken and can't fall back asleep, or feels like they can't breathe. We will tell you in the morning if that happens, and then we move into room 305. So, it's bedtime. Good night. Ow. A ghost.
So the first thing I did when I woke up is I checked the overnight footage because I really wanted to see if we caught anything. And I was kind of disappointed when I saw that it only had one recording from the time that we were asleep. However, that's something to consider. There was a recording at 6 in the morning when no one was awake. So I watched it, and none of us are moving, but nothing else is moving in the room. That's obvious. Something set it off. But you're dead asleep. Can't even see us. Now when Peter moves later at around 9 a.m. and he wakes up, anytime he moves, it clearly catches him. So I don't know what set it off then and not any other time of night. It didn't record us tossing or turning at any other point because I don't think that's a big enough movement. So I don't really understand what it caught. What do you think it caught? A ghost. A ghost. But really, why would it go off at 6 a.m. just once? It records for a full 30 seconds, but I think that it just keeps going for 30 seconds once it's triggered. The initial few seconds are important because that would be the motion that set it off.
There's clearly something in the bottom right corner of the screen that seems like it might be like an insect or something, but
Did anybody see a bug?
then, I don't know, it's weird. And the first time I watched it, weirdly, I know, like now I seem crazy, I swore I saw like an orb or something like kind of cross over me.
I did too.
And then,
But then we watched it
Uploaded
back.
it on your computer, it was gone.
yeah, it
We
was
watched
gone.
it back and we can't see it at all.
And then, of course, Peter, I gotta ask, did you feel like you had a hand over your mouth or throat since you were the only male in the room?
Honestly, again, gonna sound a little crazy, but I definitely had sleep paralysis.
Did you?
night. Yeah. And
Do
I
you
don't.
normally have sleep paralysis?
No, not really.
Have you
And-
ever?
Yes, but it was weird. It
Wait,
was
explain, hold on. I need an interview style.
okay.
Hello. What did you hear? What did you see? What did you smell? What did you taste?
You're handling that really well. For someone that's that close to me, like.
It honestly just felt like I couldn't really move, and I obviously like that sleep paralysis. But then when you said you caught something, I have no idea what time it was. But if I had to like my internal clock feels like it was in line with when it recorded, which is weird. So
At 6 a.m.?
yeah, but
It was
obviously I
still
can't tell. Yeah,
What if the thing that we saw the first time we watched the footage
was the thing.
was the thing?
Yeah,
And it was a demon
yeah,
giving you sleep paralysis
I know.
and trying to kill you.
So what we're gonna do from now on is
I like it better like that. We'll do it again.
is to leave the camera on while we're not in the room and see if we catch anything. When we check into the new room in a couple of hours.
Try again.
No, when we check into the new room in a couple of hours, when we're like allowed to check into 305, we'll leave the camera like whenever we go to explore or overnight again and see if we catch anything.
We stayed here last night, and the door right there is 305, where we'll be tonight.
And now we're gonna go to the Grand Canyon.
If you want to see that in 360 VR, wait a couple days for my new video. Yeah.
You better watch it, or else ghosts will haunt you.
In your sleep. So we're gonna go now to the haunted Grand Canyon, where many people have died.
Bye.
Hello, we're in a forest. We stopped to make an impromptu photo shoot decision because we saw these yellow trees. May or may not have climbed under a barbed wire fence.
Some light trespass.
It's fine. Look at how beautiful. Look at how goddamn beautiful this place is. Oh my. No!
I just need everyone to know that we took the detour to take photos, and as we were getting back to the car, Mikey wanted Katy to sit in the grass, and then Katy heard a rattlesnake, and then told me to come over to hear if it was a rattlesnake, because she's a bad friend. But then we get back in the car, and Mikey shows Katy one of the photos, and how pretty it looked, and now Katy wants to go back and take pictures. Rattlesnakes be damned. So these two influencers are currently risking a lot for the gram.
How to convince Katy to do something dangerous? Just show her how pretty she is.
There's a snake.
There's a snake in my boot! Dang it!
Hello and welcome back. Hopefully you actually never left. We are in room 305, which is right next door from last night's room 306. This room also goes by the very, very spooky alternate name, the John Bon Jovi room. He stayed here once or something, so they just named the whole room after him. They named their spookiest room after John Bon Jovi. I just can't get over that. Oh, so yeah, speaking of which, 305 is, by far, according to the hotel, the most active room.
Can I say something? I just realized, because this is the second day, we're halfway there. We're living on a prayer.
Oh my God, I hate you.
According to the hotel itself, there's one really, really haunted rocking chair in this hotel. Guess which rocking chair I'm sitting in? Jesus, don't, why would you do that? I hate you. Rocking chair, Bon Jovi.
Oh, that's a good pun.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Now this name is much more appropriate for the room. Okay, I'm not as mad about it.
The history of the room again. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa.
Guests and housekeeping alike report seeing the chair move by itself. History tells us that years ago, an elderly woman who was a long-term renter would sit by the window for hours on end. No one knows what she was looking at or looking for. Could it be she was waiting for someone? Someone she waits for even in death. Who would you wait for? I'd wait for a pizza delivery man for a long time. I have for long amounts of time. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she never got her pizza.
Remember I ordered pizza at your apartment and it took so long and then they didn't come.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can imagine a scenario in which if we were waiting for pizza in the 1960s, we might sit in a rocking chair until our deaths.
Well, I waited so patiently and then I got angry and then he was like, well, now that you have an attitude, I'm not dropping it off. And I was like,
That happened. That was a true story. That was a true scary story. I love how this hotel has the most cliche spooky wind sounds because the windows are so thin. Cue spooky wind sounds. A couple things I find interesting. This room immediately felt creepier to me. The second I opened the door, it was like, whoa. Just completely different vibe than right next door. Also, the window was open and the curtain was blowing. Very spooky. That gives it a nice effect, to be fair. The walls are a dark green, different than over there. But yeah, it has a different vibe, for sure. I also think it's interesting that the room in which 2 people were murdered, that's not the most active room. But right next door, this is the most active room and there's no actual report of a death happening here. There are also reports that sounds come from inside the closet, like knocking at night from inside the closet. So Peter, you're sleeping on that bed, and we'll be over here.
Sweet.
Actually, you know what? Neither of us win. One of us is either next to the closet or we're next to the rocking chair. So I'm not actually sure which is worse. Hopefully we'll catch something again at 6 a.m. in which the ring sees something, but we don't. For the record, if this chair actually rocks on its own at any point, I'm gonna be really freaked out because it's a pretty heavy rocking chair and it's taken some real effort to do this right now. When I push it, it stops rocking pretty quickly. So I genuinely have a hard time believing that anyone has seen this thing rock on its own.
oh, people say they did.
Yeah, that's the most common thing reported in this room is they see the rocking chair moving.
Hi, Katie.
you
Welcome
just say that?
to Good Hunting.
Thank you for joining. Glad you were listening to the intro that you were sitting right here for. If you're not listening, who's listening at home? There's no way this thing rocks on its own. Let's go eat and then let's ghost hunt because we can't ghost hunt on empty stomachs.
I want to be so much peppier after I eat.
Katie needs pep in her step. So we're gonna put food into her good mood. And I'm really hungry. Let's go eat. So we went out to dinner. We went out to eat around here. Right after we left, I looked at the camera to make sure that the night vision was on and everything was rolling. And I noticed that there's all these things flying around the lens. Then, 3 minutes later, there's still stuff flying all over, which I assume is bugs.
But there's no bugs in here.
So the other clip that this camera caught from 6 in the morning in the other room, it looks like there's a bug that kind of like sets off the camera maybe. So I watched that and I think, okay, maybe there's just like a lot of tiny bugs in this place. But before I came back from dinner, I checked the footage one more time. And there's absolutely nothing flying around. And we came back and we checked the room.
Did anybody see a bug?
There's no bugs in here. Have you seen one?
No. What's weird is like this is where the camera is. We have it facing down right now.
Otherwise it gets set off every time we walk in front of it, but it was right here.
So I was looking over here, and there's literally just nothing. There's no bugs.
Well, you shine it into that light, you'd be able to see a bug the second one was there. It sounds really silly, because ultimately we're talking about like these tiny specks, and we're looking for ghosts and maybe just seeing bugs instead. I know that it seems like an overreaction, or like we're reaching, and maybe we are, but I feel like I have to report on everything, because I am not the ghost expert. I'm just trying to find some on camera. And I don't know. What is an orb? Is that a ghost? Is that a spirit? Does it look different than dust particles? Does it look different than a tiny bug caught on camera? Is it possible that all the things flying around on that screen are like all these orbs because we had just come into the room, put our stuff down, and then left to go get food, and we like kicked up all the energy?
Because this is the most active room.
This is supposed to be the most active room paranormally. Or is it just a bunch of dust that is not present anymore, even though we're walking in the same areas?
What's weird is we also tested again to see if like us walking around kicked up any dust.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And honestly, it's just really weird because it's like, it feels like there's a slight delay on what the camera picks up motion-wise. So it's almost like it's picking up something and then those things are disappearing, which
Yeah.
is convenient, but.
It is convenient, because I was looking at our other ring footage, and for example, when we came back from dinner, the very first second of the first clip of it detecting us being back in the room, I'm already in this corner and Katie's shutting the door, which means it started recording maybe 3 seconds after there was actually motion in the room. That's kind of creepy. Whatever set the footage off at 6 a.m. last night maybe really was a quick thing that happened 3 seconds prior to the video actually going on and recording. I don't know. At the same time, we had the windows open for a little while, but it's really cold out. We're not seeing a lot of bugs here. It's not like the middle of the summer, but I guess it could have been bugs. I don't know. Would they all have died in between the time we opened the window, left, and we came back from eating, and no other windows were open?
Yeah, the windows weren't open when we left.
No, so it's not like the bugs left.
Did anybody see a
If there's
bug?
bugs in here, they should still be in here.
And we haven't seen any since.
I feel like this is a big discussion about bugs, but
Did anybody see a bug?
we gotta report to the people.
All right, we're gonna walk around with the EMF meter.
Trusty old EMF.
Let's do it.
Mic pack, it's working. Can we all confirm?
Yep.
Let's do something. Everyone's phone, airplane mode, just in case. There are reports of hearing tapping in the closet at night, so I wanted to check there first.
Nothing. No activity.
No. Katie's not haunted. Confirmed.
That's not what I meant.
The most haunted chair in all of the hotel. What say you? If someone dwells in this room, lives in this room, visits this room, sleeps in this room, please make yourselves known. It's a stain. What?
It did a thing.
Did it do a thing?
Yeah. When you put it down, but do it again.
Is that? If you hit the battery, I guess it does that.
Yeah.
Oh, people are gonna think I was tapping it that night. Okay, so it doesn't happen if I tap it, but I was holding it like this anyway. Hello, ghost.
You want me to walk around with it?
Yeah, maybe they're intimidated by my spikes and they don't want to talk to me. And you look friendly with your wine glass.
Hello. If you have ever... What kind of questions do you ask a ghost? Should we Google it?
We need to get the spooky mood on, so let's turn off all the lights.
Dear ghost, am I sitting on you?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
I heard a knock behind me.
Dear ghost, did you just knock behind her? Dear ghost, if you're in the room, don't do anything. Oh, he's here.
What?
He's here.
Why?
He didn't do anything.
He scared me. Not that I'm scared or anything. No way, no how.
The fact that this thing doesn't go off, though, just confirms to me that Chateau Marmont is way creepier.
Although it did some stuff last night. It wasn't like a conversation like it was at Chateau Marmont. It felt like a conversation there. Whereas last night it was just like a jump scare in a movie. That one's less convincing to me because we couldn't get any kind of consistent result.
Do you want to come out of the closet?
Katie's looking for a ghost in the closet.
That toilet seat did move on its own before. It literally went down on its own earlier.
Were you near the seat? Did you not put it up all the way?
I guess.
You know what that means?
What's that?
It's a lady ghost saying, put the goddamn seat down.
Yeah.
Because there's supposed to be a woman that sits in that chair.
Oh, it's a woman?
Katie, welcome to Ghost Hunting.
Yeah, really, right? Again.
I'm blocking it all out, I think, because I just like don't believe in this stuff, but I do believe in Chateau Marmont.
So not ghosts, just Chateau Marmont ghosts.
Yeah, just that whole situation.
How would you guys feel if you were in the complete dark in a haunted room?
I feel like I'd feel different if I was alone. If you guys weren't here.
Let's leave Katie. Bye, Katie. Oh, all your shit's blocking the door. We can't even leave you.
Scariest part of this trip is Katie's suitcase.
Yeah, right. She trapped us in here.
I got nothing. Wait. That went all over my face. Can you see my face and half of my hair?
A ghost!
And my whole glass of wine.
Sorry, I just wanted to scare you, not get you all wet. Which way to the wine?
To Katie's face.
Do you think the bar's haunted, guys? Should we go investigate that? This is our first video doing a double night ghost investigation. Most haunted room in the hotel. If you got something to say, let's go. Say it. We're waiting. We were already impressed by 306. What you got? We're getting nothing on the EMF reader anywhere in the room. Night vision isn't showing anything that we can see right now. I'm happy with the tarot card reading from yesterday, and I'm happy not doing that again tonight. Let's just try leaving the room and leaving the camera running and see if we can pick up whatever that stuff is again.
I'm down for that. My hair is to dry.
Hey Katie, which way to the wine?
Down and to the right.
Okay, what is this? What are we looking at?
Okay, so we're back. I left the EMF reader recording as we left, and I was like kind of just scanning through it on the camera. Didn't think anything of it. Wait for it.
What is that?
I don't know.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
We found ghosts! We found ghosts 2 days in a row! 3 days in a row! What would cause that? Could it be that the TV's not on? I like the idea that we caught something while we weren't in the room.
If only the rocking chair had moved.
Katie.
What?
Make the rocking chair move. Go, do it. This is how you can trust us, guys. Because when we do this shit, we'll just show you. A ghost!
Whoa.
A ghost!
Wait, cut it really quick.
I ripped off my eyelashes already, but we're gonna go to bed. I don't know what to make of the EMF reader thing going off all by itself. We're gonna set up the camera, and if anything spooky happens in the night, we will surely let you know. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2 here in Flagstaff, Arizona at the Monte Vista Hotel. You know Monte Vista translates to mountain view, which is cool because if you look over there, you can see a mountain.
This isn't the 360 video. You'll have to wait a couple of days for that one.
Go watch that video. Do it. You won't regret it. I have mixed feelings about whether or not this room did anything because it's one of two things. We either saw absolutely nothing in the most haunted room of this hotel, or we saw all kinds of stuff, depending on your interpretation of a lot of flying objects. In the middle of the night, it only recorded one clip, yet again, of us while we were completely still and sleeping. I don't know what set it off to record, but it picked up this, and the only thing I'm noticing again is that there are a ton of things flying in front of the camera. And I still don't know if they're bugs or not, but we did not have the window open one more time when we came back after dinner. There were plenty of recordings where there were no things flying in front of the camera while we were in here and while we weren't in here. It's as if all the things flying in front of the camera the first time we noticed it were gone by the time we came back from dinner. They were gone while we were out,
Yeah.
just giving the room time to record. and then they all came back to life when we went to bed. Like specifically when we went to bed. We were in here for a good hour or two before we went to bed probably. And there's recordings of nothing flying in front of the camera. And then the recording in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. is stuff flying in front of the camera, right?
Yeah, I mean, we literally have not seen one, like, bug, gnat, or anything. Like, we've had the lamps on and stuff where you would assume that they'd be attracted to lights if it's, like, little tiny bugs. And there's been none of that, honestly.
I haven't seen a single bug. Ever
Yeah.
seen a bug?
I haven't seen, like, a bug inside or outside of this hotel, actually.
No, I haven't either.
In Arizona.
There are no bugs in Arizona, just rattlesnakes. I feel like we maybe saw a lot more activity in the less haunted room next door because the tarot card reading was freaky. Okay, so let's imagine a world where the one clip that was recorded from room 306 next door was because that one thing flew on the side of the camera, remember?
Yeah.
Let's pretend that's a ghost, and that was a ghost being caught on camera, or a spirit, or an orb, or something.
Sure.
Then, if that's true, that makes this room super freaking haunted.
Yeah.
Because it had dozens.
Which would make sense based on people's experiences of this room.
Right. However, we experienced nothing. I didn't hear anything in the middle of the night. I slept great both nights here, actually. I think it's mostly just because I'm exhausted at this point, and not getting sleep a few days in a row will finally knock you out. But heard nothing overnight. I didn't feel creeped out. I did wake up really hot this morning. So if my hot flashes are an indication of ghosts, there you go, guys. Maybe there's some in this room. Also, I said on my story last night that I was really exhausted, that we all were, and people told me it's because ghosts drain your energy, so we can go with that too. This is spooky. I asked people to talk to me on Instagram last night, and someone asked, would we rather eat poop-flavored chocolate or chocolate-flavored poop? And that's spooky because we literally asked each other that earlier in the night, last night. How did they know? A psychic ghost. A would you rather ghost? I think I would rather eat poop-flavored chocolate.
If there's no repercussions, I'd rather something taste like chocolate.
I would eat poop-flavored chocolate.
You'd both eat poop.
Food. Yeah.
Okay, y'all are nasty.
Leave it in the comments below.
Imagine a 40-minute video of ghost hunting and all the comments are just like, I would totally eat the chocolate-flavored poop.
Actually, I can imagine that, yeah.
Like this video if you would eat poop-flavored chocolate. Like this video if you would eat chocolate-flavored poop. That'll settle it.
Like this video if our EMF reader going off while we were out of the room actually meant something.
Let us know if you think this one's haunted, because I don't know. If you're new here or lurking, please subscribe, because it's Halloween time, and that's all I want for Halloween, is for you to subscribe. My birthday's the day after Halloween, so give me a birthday present and subscribe. Only subscribe if you're spooky, though. If you're not spooky, don't bother. I'm trying to reverse psychology them. Why should they subscribe, Katie?
Because if they get you to 4 million before your birthday, you're gonna give away a car.
You heard her. No pressure,
No pressure.
on either end. You can specify what kind of car. Might
That's
just
true.
be like a Hot Wheels car.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yo, can you imagine if like a chair just flipped over there right now?